So let's talk about Tropical Storm Idalia. Current as of 4 p.m. Central Time, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's located east of the Yucatan Peninsula and south of Cuba. You can see there in the blue, those are tropical storm warnings are in effect, with tropical storm watches in the yellow, as you can hear, even up to the southwestern coast of Florida, and then hurricane watches in the pink. Up to the west coast of Florida and up to the Big Bend area of Florida. Right now, the maximum intensity, of course, these are always subject to change due to the path and storm organization, is as a landfalling hurricane somewhere around 1 a.m. Wednesday of about 100 miles an hour. So roughly right around that threshold of Category 1, Category 2 hurricane. I'll show you some stuff here. Now, this is one of the forecast models that I look at here. And I want you to notice how close this thing is to Cuba within 24 to 36 hours. And the reason I bring that up, and for that matter, it's closest to the Yucatan Peninsula. Land can, if you get too much land interaction, or the center goes over land, which it might do, particularly with the western coast of Cuba, you can disrupt a warm core storm circulation, as this is, and that can kind of affect the intensity and the organization of the storm. Something that's going to keep we're going to have to keep an eye on. Not to mention, if it pulls enough flow off of these land masses, there's also some drier air as well that can also affect the storm organization. Matter of fact, here's a look at the pressure reading here. You can see that area of lowest pressure right near the Cuban coast there. Then about 36 hours, but a kind of a larger gyre, if you will, of lower pressure over the Gulf. So that's going to tend to kind of help kind of wrap around this system, particularly as it gets bigger. And the negative influences of land might affect this system during its early stages. Still organizing as we speak, as a matter of fact, east of the Yucatan Peninsula. Something else to watch. And here's one of the hurricane, I think this is the H Wharf here, showing very close land interaction with Idalia. And again, that could ultimately affect its organization. I believe this is another hurricane out a little further west. So you see it's kind of up in the air right now how much land interaction we have with this. And then here, you can see as it begins to approach Florida, look at the area of lower pressure over the eastern two-thirds of the United States. We got a trough coming through. Matter of fact, same trough that's caused the much cooler weather here over the eastern two-thirds of the country here in recent days. There's going to be another little disturbance coming down as well, and that might help steer the storm. Now, this could induce more of an eastward movement, which means a place like Tampa, maybe down towards Sarasota might have a better shot at this. But if it doesn't quite pick it up soon enough, it could go a little more northward, head more toward the Panama City area. And kind of a similar area to where Hurricane Michael made landfall years ago. I want to stress, though, I am not by any means forecasting this thing to be another Hurricane Michael. I just want to get that out right now. That was one of the strongest Category 5 hurricanes this country's ever seen, and I'm not anticipating Idalia will be anywhere near that strength for the reasons mentioned. Here's another little view of the winds up in the about 40,000 feet level. You can see a little bit of a trough extending down into the southeast, and that, like I said, that could affect, number one, the direction that Idalia goes, and or number two, also affect the intensity of Idalia. Depending on how much wind shear that this system induces on the storm. How much that is yet to be seen, but we will continue to monitor. Here's a current satellite view of Idalia. You can see still kind of displaced convection to the south side of the system. Still a little bit of loss of convection on the north side. I expect that to fill in with time, but again, part of it's going to be the storm's organization is going to be due to this land interaction. You see it's still fairly close to the Yucatan as well. And other news, look at here. Here's Hurricane Franklin that we talked about before. Again, no U.S. mainland threat from this system, but it is expected to become a powerful hurricane, a powerful Category 4 hurricane, as a matter of fact, possibly up to 140 miles an hour in coming days. Right now, you see pretty steep area of convection around the south side of the system, wrapping into the east side. A little bit weaker to the north. It looks like the eye may be trying to pop out there again. So I'm thinking maybe this went through some type of replacement cycle or something. But in the coming days, that's going to continue its northwestward course, and then eventually north and then northeast out to sea. The same trough is going to pick this thing up and carry it out to sea, but definitely going to cause some ocean swells along the eastern coast of the United States, along with any effects of Idalia. So if you're in the southeast, particularly the east coast, all through next week, going to be some choppy seas out there. So please be forewarned.